Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining us here on Country Life in Morocco. Today we're going to go on the little farm and see what they do with what's left of the husks of the corn on the cob, as we call it, the maize. What they do generally is they use these to make bales with, and as I will say in the video, they use this to feed the cattle with and use it as bedding. Come on, join us and come and have a look. This is the corn that they make, and they gather the corn and then they use it for various different things. It's used for bedding for the donkeys, it's used for food for the donkeys, and then they put a big pile of it there. But they also use this to fuel the ovens for the homemade bread, or khubz as it's known in Moroccan language. Great use of natural resources. Assalamu alaikum. So all the corn is piled up here. It's piles of straw that we're all familiar with. I don't think we're so much familiar with piles of corn. I don't think we use it so much in England as it's used here. But again, as I say, it's used for bedding, it's used for food, and various other bits and pieces. And here's some of the firewood that's collected, all local firewood. So this is the firewood that's going to be used this morning to make this morning's bread, this morning's khubz. Almost bamboo-y like, isn't it, in presentation. Old traditional way of farming on these small holds, which nowadays are becoming less and less popular, much harder to find. I think everyone's sort of familiar really with touristy areas like the Atlas Mountains, very commercialised, I think, in my opinion. People there really play up to the cameras, but this is pure natural wild farming. Everything is used, nothing is wasted. Labour intensive work doing this day in, day out. Was really quite surprising to hear that we're only probably about 5 kilometres or 2 miles, 3 miles away from the sea, and most of the locals here have actually never been to the beach. They don't have an opportunity to. There's no holidays. It's full on 7 days a week, 365 days a year. The only advantage being that obviously they have fantastic weather here, and it makes up for Blighty's constant rain that we've been having this year. Yeah, of course it's very important to have rain, but we need the sun in order to get everything all ready for harvesting. So my heart goes out to the farmers back in UK. We have some bildy cows, or as it's known in Moroccan, bildy bakra, munching away without a care in the world. Now, all I've got to say to you cows is watch out, there's a Humphrey about. Any of our viewers who are over 50 will know exactly what I'm talking about, the old Humphrey adverts. Again, as I said, these are bildy organic cattle. I think they only have basic treatment in terms of worming and that sort of thing, but all their food is completely natural. They are only housed in a pen at night for their own safety and security, but they spend the whole of the day roaming around here. Now at the moment they're tied, and the only reason that they're actually tied is due to the fact of them getting in the way whilst the work's going on. But I can assure you, and I will show you, that they tend to release them and they let the cows walk around and do cow things basically. So yes, munching away. Now I do believe, I may be wrong here, I'm no expert on cows, but I think if I'm right they have 7 stomachs, and they obviously are chewing the food now and there's a terminology called chewing the cud. I think in the evening times, once they lay down and go to sleep, I believe that they regurgitate the grass or whatever they've eaten, and they re-chew it again to a finer consistency where they can digest it more. Interestingly enough, though, cows only have a bottom set of teeth. But as you can see, they've got a rather large, strong old tongue there that they use to rip up the grass and hay, etc. The straw, whatever bits and pieces that they may find. Vegetation. And yes, they don't really need to use their teeth too much at all. They've got like a plate on inside their mouth, and I do believe that that's what they use to grind up the grass when they chew the cud. But I don't think, although I'm not going to test it, I don't think they're actually able to bite you. So they are tagged. They do have obviously an agricultural system here in terms of identification and health and everything else. The Moroccan government, I have to say, they're very, very good. They help the farmers immensely in terms of these types of things. One of the things I found very interesting is that the dogs here. Now, the dogs, of course, is a rather unusual system. What they tend to do here, they tend to keep the dogs penned up during the day, and in the evening time they give them free roam. But the vets here come out once a year and they vaccinate all the dogs for free against, the main viruses and parvo, etc., etc. Use this term zid. Zid means get going, donkeys. Dersi. Donkeys on the return. It's like a chariot. Chariots of fire. Ben Hur. Coming to gather another pile of... In fact, there's not many piles left, actually, of corn to be gathered. So basically this will be done, of course, until all has been gathered. And then what they do, they will cover it in a sheet to keep the early morning dew from causing mildew and rot on it. Seems like the old donkeys are getting their summer coat coming off. Incredibly strong animals, donkeys. They truly are. And they're absolutely a life source for these local small-holding people. Without these donkeys, they really would not be able to do this work. And I have to say, being, again, from England, observing how they look after the animals, the care that they give these animals, the care that they give these donkeys, is incredible. They really do. Because, as I say, they see these donkeys as their lifeline. And they know if these donkeys are sick, donkeys can't work, then they can't survive. They can't make any money. They can't gather any food. So therefore, they treat these animals with great respect. They'll only make them work for so many hours. And then they give them a big break, food, drink, etc. Nice rest. And they won't work them, of course, in the hottest parts of the day. The noise in the distance that one can hear is actually a water pump. They pump the water from underground and use it to water the gardens, water the land, I should say. So they use these pumps. Now, apparently, so I have been told, that the water used here actually started its journey a long time ago from the Atlas Mountains, and it's constantly replenished by the Atlas Mountains. Now, I'm not sure about that, but that's what they say about the water system here in El Jadida. That's how the water is replenished underground. Max, one of their dogs. Hiya Max, how are you? You okay? You gonna give me a paw? They're gonna give me your paw, give me paw. And this one is called Rocky, who always loves to smile. Don't you, Rocky? Hey? And Max and Rocky. Happy to see me. Well, thank you for joining me today in Country Life in Morocco. And I hope you enjoyed the video today. If you did, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up. And even perhaps if you would like to subscribe to watch more adventures of country life in Morocco.